Hello everybody, this is Raging Monkey and I'm bringing you my second Men of War Assault Squad shoutcast. I didn't start recording to this video until just after it began, so hence the startup screen. This is a 2v2. It's quite an open map, this one, and as starting as the Americans, I'm bringing out a regular infantry squad straight off. I like the US regular infantries because the Garand is a fantastic weapon at medium range, covers long range pretty well as well, and supported by the LMG means that on a map like this you can spread your infantry out, get a good range of scope for covering lots of bases, and then your LMG can be moved around as necessary to support the advance. Of course, it's not as good as the German MG42 on the infantry, maybe the MG34, don't know. Regardless, it's not quite as good as it, but it certainly brings up a little extra firepower to support your advance. As you can see, I've split my troops in half to cover this right-hand point, just a couple. But the MG is a little closer to that group if shit starts to hit the fan, and that guy's hiding around the corner just for a little flank. But as I see, most of his squad is up here on the left. He's trying to attack the centre point, and my teammate is being a little too cautious bringing himself up. This is up on high resources, and as you can see up in the top right, it's only to 60 CP. It took me like half an hour to connect to a game last night when I played this, and as a result I joined this one. It was pretty much the only one that was available. I think my NAT settings on my router stop people connecting to some of my games, and so I get pretty slow take up. It's not the greatest game, but a game nonetheless. Sort of traded a couple of grenades. I had managed to get the flank with those two people around on the left, but of course the squad came down the centre road, and so pretty much cut up those two infantry members. And I was a little bit afraid of getting the flank around here. And of course, that little bit of afraidness was turned into a huge fear of everyone dying when that tank came into play. So what did I do? I panicked and I bought an M4 Sherman. I hate this tank. I'm sure probably the Americans in the war hated it as well. It's cheap and plentiful, but it's complete crap. Completely outclassed by the H. But like I said, I panicked. I thought that a field gun wouldn't have enough time to get up in time. So what was I going to do? Set my infantry all crouched down, especially that machine gunner. He doesn't need to be spotted. And of course, as soon as he gets into range, bang, hull damage. I realised that was probably my fault. I didn't pay too much attention getting the Sherman into the right position. I certainly didn't put him on return fire as I usually do. So a bit my mistake, but still, I mean, first shot from the H. What a piece of crap. So I figured, right, his far right corner hasn't been capped at all yet, so it's completely safe for me to sneak 4 men up and start capping that. He's got his H there, but if anything, 4 men there will retreat or, well, draw the attention of this H away from the centre, so I can make some moves on there. I've learned from my video yesterday, or the day before, whenever it was, not to anally fixate on one point and only one point being the middle. So, okay, they've got a few people around the middle points, and I'm sure they're going to start building up that middle point, but that just leaves their back point completely open. And if I can get a fix there, and a few things to keep that tied down, then they're going to have a hell of a trouble spawning things in. I've got complete oversight here on their spawn point, so I know exactly what they're going to bring in. The H there is attacking my left-hand player, which is quite nice because it gives me scope to bring in this field gun. And as you see there, I'm putting it onto turn fire mode. I think that's probably one of the most useful things that you can do with a field gun or a tank, because obviously they're expensive. You don't want them firing at a little fucking field mouse that scurries across the battlefield when you've got a panther staring down at you and showing you its side armour. So it goes on to return fire, and this is what I said earlier. This is why I said earlier I was terrified about bringing up the field gun and not having time before the panzer there just rolled all over my troops. Fortunately for me, he's being very, very cautious. Understandably, he doesn't know where my infantry are. He's, I guess in that sense, playing it quite well. He doesn't want to get an 18 nade thrown at him when he himself doesn't have the infantry to scout. He's not really pushing forward with his infantry. They're all still staying around the middle point there. I don't really know what else he's got on, because as you can see, I've taken his point over in the far corner. He's still mulling around with his tank, killing his own tank commander and my teammate's heavy MG. But you know, he's not paying enough attention to me. He's got no idea what I'm doing. He's that's funny as hell. Bazooka firing, missing the tank, taking out a full squad of conscripts, and then he gets shot in the face by the H. Fantastic. So because he spent all this time having a go at my left-hand teammate, he's not scouted, he's not seen the fact that I've got this M5 bringing up. M5, fantastic gun. Fairly accurate, more than capable of taking out this H and with it. Fortunately, they stupidly decided to run over the field rather than around the wall. My fault, I guess. I decide that H is busy. It's probably about time to have a look at the centre point, so run them up. Probably not as stealthy as I could have potentially done it. Unfortunately, I parked this M5 just on the wrong side of a field, so we can't fire. He has given his position away, but he's not doing considerable amounts by moving his H into a position where he can take it. He certainly shouldn't be driving up to take an M5 face-on with an H. Maybe with a Panther or something like that, but certainly not a Panther 4. I think he... there he is. He's trying to have a go at my opponent's batteries, but well, he knows there's a field gun there. He's not making any attempt to get out of the way. And I'm starting to get down at this point. I want to throw the grenade because I know there are 4 guys around there, but unfortunately I don't have a choice. A few people hiding in the bushes. There we go. So right, sight on the Panzer. First shot, turret damaged. Shot deflects. I'm not shooting at him at the best angle, but I knew he was being distracted. Not much he's going to do. Certainly when I saw his turret was destroyed, that yeah, dead Panzer. So what have we got here up in the top right corner? Always reposition your AT guns when you finished using them. That is probably the most important thing that you can do with them. Way more important than actually having them on hold fire, because as soon as you fire an AT gun, they know that it's slow. If they have any form of artillery at all, they know they can just run in and move the shit out of it. See this, what was that? Panzer 1? Pride of the German army. Runs up to a Sherman and see, again, this is why I hate the Sherman. What's that? The 3rd shot completely missed. You are a crap turret. I realise that the AT gun's not going to hit anything there, so I'm moving him into a position where he can shoot better down that sight line. He's being covered by the Sherman, so I'm not particularly worried about him being destroyed. Also moving him into the fields, and this mortar that's coming up is going to allow me to shell over that wall and eventually push up on that centre point. He's left his back point completely untouched. Here he goes. Like, what the hell? How long is he's been pushing up for a fucking minute, and the Sherman has still not shot him. So he gets a shot out, he takes out the crew of the mortar, and the AT gun, I think that is, takes out the tank. So yeah, nice one, Mr. Sherman. I'm pretty certain that he hasn't got anything within range, of course, right? Nashorn over there. I know he can see my M4, but do you know what? I didn't give a fuck. I don't like that tank so much that, to be honest, getting rid of it would have been doing me a favour. I would have not had to concentrate on it. I figured, like, he's got no support up here, right? He's just pulled in this Nashorn, he's got nothing here, so I'm gonna steal your Nashorn. I should have waited until he was staying still so I could chuck that grenade in it. Misses, fortunately doesn't get him. He probably notices the fact that I'm running up and want his Nashorn, so here he crews it. One of his tank members, grenade takes out the other. I think the Nashorn's damaged there. I tried to shoot, I tried to repair it a little bit later. Regardless, I've got Overwatch on it, so he's not going to, I'm at least going to know that he's going to